Hello, happy Saturday. Welcome to my channel, Watch Your Mouth Reviews. This is your boy James, where I'm here to give my honest review while trying to watch my mouth. It might happen. I don't know. We'll see what happens with this video. We'll see. Joining me as always is my co-host, Mrs. Best. Y'all say what's up to her.
Hello, welcome in. Please like and share the video and subscribe.
Yes, like, comment, and subscribe. And while you're subscribing to me, go ahead and subscribe to Mrs. Best channel as well. Her information is here, as well as in my description box. We cover shows together like Love and Hip Hop Miami and Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, all on her channel. So if you love those shows, love to know what we think about them, you're going to go to her channel, subscribe, and continue to watch us every week like you always do. Nothing different. But yes, please subscribe. But a lot of y'all watch me or not subscribe to me. I just don't understand. It's just one little button. That's all you got to do. And then maybe like the video while you at it just to get the algorithm going for us. Please and thank you. Yes. Shout out to my girl Jim Bunny who is here with us on this lovely Saturday. Hey, hey, hey. Thank you for joining us today, my love. I appreciate you so much. So, Real Housewives of Salt Lake City is called La Vida Loca. That's exactly what this was. But you know what? It was an okay episode. I did enjoy it though. So we're gonna open it up where we have Angie, Whitney, and Heather. They're doing water aerobics at the pool with the one of the instructors. And as they're getting done with the water aerobics, Heather mentions how she actually felt bad for Bronwyn when it came point to her injuries and how her husband, had a disconnect from her being in an emergency room, and it took for her daughter to call him and show him the actual bites for him to take it serious. Heather says that in her own marriage, she went through that as well, where her husband was just vacant when it came to her emotions, her feelings, and everything. And people were just telling her, you just need to be grateful to be married to him. He doesn't cheat, he doesn't watch porn, he doesn't smoke, he doesn't do drugs. So that should just be it. And I hate I have to defend Heather like this because I don't like Heather. Y'all know this. Y'all been watching me for a minute. I don't like Heather, but that's wrong to tell somebody that you should just be grateful because he doesn't do any of the addictive things that men can do while being with you. No, that's not what you tell people. That's something that, if he's emotionally vacant and you can't get through them, you marry for initial love, even though marriage and that religion and how it used to be was business arrangements, you still have to go into it with some sort of admiration. So, Mrs. Best, how did you feel about Heather sort of coming around to Bronwyn in that
I appreciated it, but I still don't really care for her. One good moment because it relates to you is not going to make up for all the self-centered things and that Heather does. But if I was Bronwyn, I wouldn't have told these women nothing.
I wouldn't have either. I wouldn't have said anything, but we're going to get into that more. But I'm kind of glad she did in a way because for the audience, it actually made me like her even more because I understood exactly what she was saying. So, but that was pretty much it. Anything else you want to add before I move on? I'm gonna take that as the app is kind of delaying her. Sorry for the response, but she'll pipe up if she needs to. Yeah, I'm gonna move on. So the ladies get ready to go for a boat ride, but before they do, Lisa has little gifts for them. She basically has a ViDA tequila bag for them, and as she's handing them out, Brown was looking like, "What am I going to do with this kind of bag?" And so production asked her, "Do you grocery shop?" And she says, "No." And I 100% believe that Bronwyn does not grocery shop. She looked like the type that don't grocery shop at all. She looked like the type that orders Instacart, what is it, Uber Eats, and everything like that. She looked like she is definitely a restaurant queen. If I ain't never seen her, I can't picture her cooking or having groceries or having anything in her refrigerator other than liquids. So, in the instance that they're all getting into the actual van to go there, Meredith is passed out. Meredith is sleeping. Meredith is all that, and I think it was Whitney who asked Meredith if she's okay, and she goes, "Yeah, I'm tired." And Brittany's looking over at Meredith like, "Yeah." And the reason why Brittany is looking at her like that is Brittany came around to Heather and told her that she heard Meredith in her bathroom throwing up and also crying, and she doesn't know what that was about. And keep in mind, nothing really stays in this group because it didn't went from Heather to Angie, from Angie to Bronwyn. So word travels around fast, but we'll get to that in just a moment here. But the ladies then get on the boat. Everyone's having, a really good time. And, someone asked Lisa, what are you going to do this summer? And Lisa said, well, it's all about Henry this summer since Jack will be on his mission still. It's all about Henry, and we're going to make sure that, he goes on vacation. We make sure we take him out on dates. I take him out. What is that husband's? John takes him, to do something sporty. So we make sure we get him active and everything. And Brittany's over there pouting. You guys, I just told you about last night and my daughter and how she spent the night and nobody was happy for me. Nobody wanted to cheer for me. And then you guys asked Lisa about her son. And everybody's looking at her like, are you serious right now? So you just gonna interject yourself into this woman explaining what she gonna do with her child just so we can glorify that you actually were in your child's presence? Brittany, if you don't cut this out, like I really need her to stop doing this. I really do. This is beyond like self-righteousness. I don't know what is wrong with this lady. So Brown asked her, she said, are you just happy to make announcements or are you genuinely happy to be in your daughter's life? And she said, Bronwyn, you're such a bitch. Bronwyn looked at Lisa and said, oh, that's okay. That's how we do it. And she said, I'm looking at you, Lisa. And Lisa's like, what you want me to do about it? What you want me to do? She goes, this is once again why I'm staying and I'm calling it things out. You're not acting like my friend and have my back. And Brahma says in her confessional, if the roles were reversed and someone called Lisa a bitch and I was in ear length of it, it would have been all hell breaks loose and Lisa would have got at me. But she can allow this woman to call me a bitch and everything of that sort. And it's all fine. And Lisa's like, look, Brahman, I can't control what she does. And I'm not going to intercept between two grown women going at each other. Like, that's not why I'm here. Now, I know y'all going to be like, James, really? But I actually agreed with Lisa. I did. I agreed with Lisa because at the end of the day, y'all are grown women. You have a mouth and you do absolutely well with it, I'm sure. So you can tell this lady to kiss your ass and go to hell, right? I don't understand what the problem is. Mrs. Best, how do you feel about this? Do you feel that Lisa should have chimed in and told her not to do it? Or do you think Bronwyn was tripping?
Bronwyn needs to figure it out. Either you want to be Lisa's friend or you don't. I'm getting tired of the back and forth. She makes a lot of valid points about Lisa, but she makes them at the wrong time.
Hmm.
Um, Brittany cannot control that woman doing it. Now, if it was a bunch of people ganging up on her or people speaking ill on her name while she's not around, then Lisa can be like, please don't speak like that about her around me or all of that. But you can't change how somebody feel. So it's very strange that she suddenly expected for Lisa to defend her. It's like you have a chip on your shoulder, let it go. Lisa's not your friend. You've been shown 10 different ways, Bronwyn, that Lisa is not your friend. These women are telling you that she's not your friend. Lisa is not anybody's friend except for her own. That's it. So I just want Bronwyn to stop talking about it. As for Lisa, uh, if Lisa were anybody else, I would say I agree with her behavior. But in Lisa's case, it's just classic Lisa. She doesn't care. If it doesn't impact her, she does not care. I think it's
Exactly.
comical that Lisa's even throwing the trip. But Bronwyn, these people ain't your friend. Move on.
That's what I'm saying. It's like, it's crazy. So this moment causes Bronwyn to kind of react in an emotional standpoint. She's basically saying that, she's tired of being in these situations and everyone coming after her and they talk about her marriage and not really asking her what's really going on in her marriage, like the infidelity that she ended up having. And that kind of threw everybody off guard because they were like, oh, what infidelity? What happened? So now Brahman has to go into a further rabbit hole and explain what exactly happened. And what she explains was is that her husband was entertaining some woman on his either iPad or phone or something like that. And her daughter happened to walk up on him, getting ready to ask him something, and she ended up seeing it. And everyone's like, "Oh my god!" Like, and what we understand from the after show, which is why I watch it, is that they were more like, "Oh, she just threw Todd under the bus and all this and that." And I'm like, if it's true, that's not throwing him under the bus. If it's true, because I'm sure it can be proven, and I'm sure it was going to come out at some point. So why not get ahead of your own shit? That's what I'm saying. These women don't make no sense to me. So I think it was Whitney that asked her, "So what did he say when it happened?" And pretty much his response is that he's, very triggered to always want more at work, and it carries on in his home life. And to me, that's a dangerous situation when you really think about a man coming home and telling you that he's triggered to always want more, so he'll entertain the wrong conversation or entertain the wrong situation because he's embedded in his mind that he always needs more. So, Mrs. Best, I have to ask from a married person's perspective, because I am not married, what would be wrong? What's wrong with this dynamic, and how is that dangerous for Bronwyn?
I mean, Brahman's choosing it. I don't really see it as being dangerous for her. She chose to be with this person. She chose to forgive him.
Hmm.
So I can't really view it as danger. I will say that there are layers to marriage. I'm not surprised that he cheated
Me
on
either.
her, though. People of power, not just men, tend to not be easily satisfied or satisfied with just one person. I just don't understand why she is telling them this. But based on the reaction from some of the ladies, specifically Lisa and Meredith, they're probably aligning with Todd and more so siding with him versus being concerned about her because they allegedly cheated on their men as well. And birds of a feather flock together. They all gonna think in the same way. So I don't know. But Bronwyn, she's all over the place. And that's what's making me like, I still like her, but she's all over the place. You went
Mhm.
from wanting to argue with people to checking people to bringing Lisa into something that one time she didn't have nothing to do with to suddenly being vulnerable and being sad about the cheating and stuff. I think and understand, I can understand why she brought it up. Like you said, get ahead of it. But you could have said that in a confessional privately. You didn't have to mention that in a group of ladies
Mhm.
that's not gonna protect you. But I don't think that she's in danger. But she
This is
did
what I mean by
choose.
danger. A bit say win and said it right
No,
here.
I know what you I understand what you meant by it, but I still don't know that that's going to impact her. I think to a certain extent she's choosing this man for the amenities that come with him.
So let me ask this, because I believe that too. I believe that as well. No matter what she says about people calling her a gold digger, trophy wife, the things that she's saying that the women are accusing her of, I believe somewhere lies down the middle that some of those things are true.
You
If
don't
the
have
man
to be a gold digger to stay with somebody because it's easier on you financially or the amenities that come with it. Like that's part of why in court when people get divorced, judges consider the standard of life that people are used to living and then base alimony and child support payments and things of that nature on that. So I don't think it fully makes her a gold digger, but she's probably accustomed to a certain lifestyle. And if she leaves him, she knows that'll all change. She's not in the same space that she was professionally as she was when she met him. So I feel like that could be part of why she joined the show. But don't tell these girls that you done been arguing with and feel don't like you and all been talking about your personal business. It's nice that some of them reacted well, but for Lisa and Meredith to react that way, I was like, yeah, Brahma, they not your friends.
they really not. They and never will be like that. Here's the thing, and Jim Bunny said it's interesting that Angie, Heather, and Whitney had empathy for her. The friend of 10 years don't give a fuck. The friend of
People
10
use the
years,
word friend so loosely.
right?
She probably knows Lisa and has had fun with her from time to time when they go to events together or things like that. People mistake and call people friends when they really probably just acquaintances or
I agree.
connections that they have. That
I
ain't
agree.
her friend. Surface level friendship of 10 years. That's crazy. You don't have to talk to somebody every day to know certain things about them that are deep. So they not friends.
And here's the thing: Lisa doesn't have an empathy button. Lisa does not have empathy unless it's her situation, or unless it's her husband or kids. That's when she has empathy. But for people, everyday living friends that she has no empathy. So for Bronwyn, and that's another thing I don't get about Bronwyn. I'm sure Lisa is not too much different off camera than she is on camera. I can't imagine her being too much different. So I don't understand if you have been around somebody for 10 years, you can see easeable traits, like something that is like very much she is, you know, kind of hard, rough exterior. She's very abrasive. She's also condescending. Those things you can kind of see in someone right away without really having to know their personality, and it's based on behaviors in the room. I'm sure, like I said, she can't be too much different. So I don't know. She is in this more than just money. It's the ability, the status, the admiration she didn't get from her. I was gonna say this too. It's funny you brought that up because the next thing I was gonna say is I think it's daddy issues. I really do. I think this is Ashley Darby Salt Lake City version. I really the reason why I say that is because it just comes across that to me how he treats her and how dismissive he is, how he chastises her. It really does give daddy daughter, in a marriage kind of situation. It really does. That's why I'm saying the level of like, I'm not saying using dangerous as like she's in fear for her life. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is the mental instability of her based on the demeaning things that he does. And how she, even after infidelity, still feels like every day I choose him because that's my choice. It's like, well, why does this make you upset then? That's how I feel. And I know I'm wrong to think like that, but to me, it's that things that he does that you turn a blind eye to because he bought you a ring with five diamonds in it because he wants to make a promise for everything he did when he married you. It's like, well, then what are you upset for? What are you crying over for? Because you said,
Like that's why I say Bronwyn is all over the place. You went from a victim to vulnerable to all these different things to supposedly moved on and strengthened. A ring is not going to make you get over cheating. Maybe there's women that could get over it so fast, but if my husband cheats on me and then gives me a diamond ring, talk about he making me five different problems promises, I'm no, 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 you gonna have to do a lot more than just buy that. But that's why I say her relationship, she's definitely in it for the money too, because
I feel like, yeah, I
nobody
feel like
should be
there's
able
a
to just
moshposh
buy
of
your
different things. It
forgiveness.
is. Yeah, she's in that marriage for a variety of things, but I feel like status, money, and access possibly, and daddy issues is the reason why she's still in this. I really do, and probably some abandonment as well. Lord Farquaad in the corner over there, aka Meredith, says, "Well, do you ever think because you're so guarded that that's maybe why he in acts does what he does?" I said, "Wait, what? The fuck her being guarded got to do with him stepping out or him being rude or him being dismissive or him demeaning her? What does that have to do with anything?" And she's not.
Meredith was projecting her own shit
Thank you.
onto Bronwyn because Meredith is someone who's so bougie, so classist, tries to act pretentious, all these things. And you could tell that her husband, Seth, is more down to earth, chill.
Hmm.
And yeah, come on, Meredith. And,
That
I
wasn't
always question women that if a woman comes to you, whether you're my friend or not, and she's like, he cheated on me, somebody I'm with, whether you married or not, I'm gonna be like, that motherfucker. Like, that's
right.
not okay. So for the natural reaction of Lisa and Meredith to be like, well, what's wrong with you that made him cheat? Is kind of like, unless Bronwyn was just out here living her cave girl life, not shaving her pits and not washing her ass daily or something, then it's like, okay, fine, but why are you picking this woman apart for this man cheating on her? Like, it doesn't make any sense. I feel
Yeah, it
like
doesn't make sense that
what
you would
they
justify that. Like,
Meredith was definitely projecting, but then with Lisa, I feel like Lisa's like, I wish my dude was that rich. You better just shut the hell up and deal with it.
right.
So, because she seems more shallow, but Meredith was definitely projecting.
She
Go
was. And
back to sleep.
it was crazy that she even would say something like that. I'm like, Not the fact that she's guarded, but Brahma pretty much also makes the point of, coming into this group, she's been called all these names, and it makes her feel like she's inadequate and unworthy. Not using those exact words, but pretty much that. And then when she's in her marriage, she feels the same way when it came to her family and then her baby daddy's family. It's like she's never really fully like good enough for people. So to come into this group with a so-called friend and her introduced into all her girlfriends, thinking that she may have some level of support, and it ends up being the complete opposite. I understood what Brahma was saying. That's why I said I really warmed up to her. I hate that she had to go there in order to get sympathy from people like Heather, who's been giving her a hard time this entire time that she's been on this show. It really just it bothers me to my core that that's what she had to do in order to get sympathy from just because she can handle herself in controversial situations. Y'all women are some of y'all women on this show. I'm telling y'all, y'all are horrible. Meredith and Lisa especially, but Heather, you too, and Brittany. I'm laying that all on you. As far as like Angie and Whitney, I feel like theirs could be more salvageable, where I can understand both sides, but with the rest of them, no. So that was pretty much. And is there anything else you want to add before we move on?
No.
Okay. So Mary finally gets there. And as Mary walks in, she walks into the villa where Brittany, Lisa, and Meredith were sitting down. And they're like, "Oh, hi, Mary," and everything. And they're like, "You want to sit down?" And she goes, "No, where's my room?" She's like, "Oh, they're like, oh, it's in another village." They were like, "Why?" And Meredith said, "Why didn't you come yesterday, Mary?" And what you say, Jim Bunny? I got distracted with your comment. I need to understand how John deals with it. He's the same person.
He seems like the type of
He's
guy that likes his rear end played with in the bedroom.
I don't know if that's it, but I feel like he's just like Lisa. He's just more secretive and quiet about it. Where Lisa is just out in the open and abrasive with hers because she's been able to be nonsensical and probably get away with it for so many years. But I feel like actually we can prove that John was that same way when he met up with Justin. Y'all remember that when he met up with Justin at that lounge and he said, don't you feel like you owe Lisa an apology when we all saw with our own eyes that Lisa approached this man first? So yeah, no, I 100% believe that John is just like Lisa. He's just more mild with it. Do you see that show Heather said Brahma through 100? Yeah, I was watching that and I was looking at Heather like, Heather, jealousy is such a ugly trait on you. It really is. Because you mad because this man had a prenup with his wife. You mad because she lives the life and she still has a man. And now you sitting there talking about she threw him under the bus. Like, come on, it is what it is. It was probably going to get exposed one way or another. At least if it does get exposed and Buttercup's name gets revealed, at least we know she had already said Buttercup's situation with Todd on her first season. So that way she got ahead of it. So Heather can kick rocks. I don't like Heather. I just don't. Um, you know, I try not to do because I feel like all men can really realistically can get down like that. I really can. So I just I can't picture her. He's too tall. I just thought Heather is so unattractive on the outside and inside. She is.
Yeah, the outside, I feel like the weight loss is making me see
I
how
feel like I'm seeing
invalid her
different
face card
imperfections.
is.
Yeah, I do. I feel like I'm seeing different imperfections. I feel like I'm seeing she was better heavier set. I'm just gonna say that because sometimes some people don't need to lose weight. Like maybe get healthy and in shape, fine. That's completely fine. But when it comes down to like you actually losing the weight, but your head is still the same size, that's when we have to kind of look at it like,
That's because her body
okay.
can't catch up. She's not losing the weight naturally. She's not diabetic. She's taking meds from people who actually need them so that she could go eat whatever the hell she want every day. And that's not appropriate. Y'all see how I feel about that. I have no shame in it. The medicines that Heather is taking is originally made to assist people who have diabetes. And this chick is taking it because she's too chunky, and you just taking meds from the diabetics for no good reason, Heather, because you still can't catch a man. You still can't catch a man. Yeah, Ozempic, that is for diabetics.
Well, Mrs. Best said a word there because that is, I mean,
You
like,
did all of that to lose weight, injected that needle in you every day, messing up the way that you poop. Because that's what it do if you take it when you don't actually need it. And you getting skinnier, but where is the man? Bitch can't even catch a date. I
and
can't.
you know, Heather gonna have a man because Heather is shallow. Heather is shallow, and don't no man want to deal with that. Don't no man want to deal with some old bitter ass damn. Always worried about what other people got going on. Always worried about how much money people got. Always wondering like about who got the newest Range Rover. And so don't no man want to be dealing with that every day. Who then wants to sit and pillow talk, talking about, oh my God, did you see Monica got a new Range Rover on Instagram and I sued her ass? Don't no man want to deal with that. Like who wants to sit and hear that? So
That's
yeah,
why she got the time to sue people. She bored. She bored.
she is bored. She's very bored. So, moving on, we talking about Mary. Yeah, Mary. So yeah, Meredith said, Mary, why weren't you at, why didn't you come yesterday? And Mary said, well, yeah, I decided to come today. And it was like, okay, I'm gonna answer people like that from now on. I'm gonna get like this long-winded like soliloquy before I get into the actual reason and let it be that dry. And they said, oh, okay, okay. So Mary goes into her room. She got the master bedroom, which I knew she was going to get it. And she goes and finds Angie. And Angie said, oh my God, Mary, you just made my day. And I love seeing this. I don't know what it was about them running up and hugging each other. I thought it was so beautiful. Like I really did, because you could tell that one, Angie's starting to, I'm telling you, Angie's starting to come to my good side. There's sometimes I don't like Angie, but for the most part, I definitely can see the human version of her where she does care. She is a girl's girl. She makes sure all her friends are taken care of. She even helped Meredith when it came to Meredith trying to get out the van and Meredith was stumbling all the place. She held Meredith's hand through the whole thing. So Angie really isn't as bad. It's just, I think she tried so hard her first season and it just threw everybody off. Mary could have. I mean, well look who was at the table. You had Lisa, you had Brittany, and you had Meredith. I'm sure she didn't have a problem sharing her business with Meredith, but I don't think Lisa and Brittany were people she wanted to tell her business to. Yeah, I'm starting to like her more and more, and so she is. She really is. Like I'm starting to see that more and more as these episodes go on. So the ladies then, as Mary gets there, everyone gets dressed up for dinner and they all sit around the table and the table's cracking up because everyone started bringing their food. And Mary said, oh, I wanted some of that. I want that and everything. But Mary was the last person to get her food and she was getting mad because it was, it was like, she goes, where's my food? And she said she ordered the pastrami soup and something salad. Everyone's looking at us at pastrami soup. Mary just says whatever's on her head. She don't care if it makes sense. She don't care what happens. No, not her business. Saying she just had things to do before coming. She could have said that like that. Yeah, she could have said that. So, Brittany asked Meredith, "Hey, Meredith, are you okay?" And Meredith said, "Yeah, I'm good." She goes, "Oh, okay. Well, heard you, crying and throwing up and everything." Mary said, oh, why are we mentioning throw up here? That's so disgusting. And Meredith said that, she was crying over the whole slut shaming thing. She said, I really upset her. And I'm looking at Meredith like, Meredith, go back to practicing law. Go back to being a lawyer. Because Meredith, you will lie if you open that mouth. Mrs. Best, do you think that's the reason why she was crying?
No. I mean, I don't know
Like,
who. I can't. The,
right. That's how I feel. Do exactly what you just did because that sounded so stupid coming out her mouth. And so Angie's like, well, I thought we got past all this. I thought we were doing fine. And Lisa pipes up and she said, whoa, 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 Lisa, remember, we were going to stop getting in other people's way. We were going to start, we was going to stop doing that, right? And Lisa was all like, no, I just was just saying, when it comes to Meredith and everything. And I'm looking at Lisa like, oh shit, here you go. Y'all done got her piped up and everything. I think so too. This part, I think
Meredith
Stephanie.
looked like if you push her with your pinky finger that she will fall over. She be looking frail and fragile all the time. I'm trying to tell you. I feel like she's no fun. Like
I do
I
too.
think Steph cares about her to a certain extent, but I feel like she's no fun and I also feel like she's impossible to please.
Right. I 100% agree with that. So Lisa was all like, "So what are you gonna do about it, Angie?" And Angie's like, "Well, what you want me to do? What you want me to lunge at the table like you did?" And so they're going back and forth. And Whitney chimes in and just says, like, I think it's hypocritical of you to sit up there and try to assert yourself. And when it comes to other people's feelings, you don't have to care. But when your feelings are hurt, we have to all rally around you and be there. It's like, it's not fair. And Lisa looked at her. She goes, "Oh, no, I don't expect you to do anything. You'd be lucky I'm even looking at you because I just feel like you're just a lying bitch." And I said, "Oh, we're going there with it. We are going there." I said, "Damn." Whitney just kind of just shut up and everything. And I'm just like, Whitney, this was your moment. Because see, I would have said, okay, well, you know what? Put your dukes up then. Let's see if I'm a lying bitch then. Because we would have went to jail in Mexico at this point because Lisa lost her damn mind. Lisa get the hooping and crying, talking about how everyone's always attacking her and playing this victim. I
I
don't have time
just
to deal
like to
with her
say that a common trait and thing that narcissists do
life.
is when they are called out and confronted on the things that they do, well, sociopaths also, they will suddenly try to find ways to make you all feel bad for them, to make you feel as though they are the victim, they are the one who is wrong. Lisa is like a classic Freudian theory. I swear she is. She's peaked. She's all of it. Lisa will tell you everything. Lisa could be studied and used to teach psychology students about how to identify personality disorders and traits. Lisa, everything she did irritated me. But at the same time, I don't buy her tears or any of it. I just can't.
She mustered one little tear in her left eye. It was struggle. It was a struggle to get out. Like she really was struggling to get out. She said, "Everybody doesn't know how hard I have it. I'm a mom. I'm a wife. I have businesses. I came from nothing, and I built this and everything. And everyone wants to criticize me and do it." And I'm just looking at her like, "Oh my god!" It's like, girl,
If you came from nothing, you would think that you would have some empathy and understand 90% of
right?
the things that people have tried to get you to see
Or
on
even
this
have,
show.
or just even have just borderline, just basic human decency. At the very least, I feel like every human being should have some amount of just basic level decency. But you, ma'am, in the hour this show is sitting up there playing the victim after you were just told not to insert yourself in a conversation because Angie wanted to get clarification on where they stood. And it was Brittany who actually started this shit. And y'all letting Brittany get away with too much. Y'all letting Brittany kind of skate around. I guess she's a friend of the show and we ain't trying to give her so much shine, but she's causing a lot of bullshit too at the same time. Now Brittany should have known Meredith was not gonna tell no truth to her in front of all these women. I don't know what Brittany thought Meredith was gonna do. Meredith was gonna deflect and lie. Because I know damn well she wasn't crying over no damn high body count hair comment. So Brittany can move, but yeah, Lisa, that was pretty much Lisa gets up, storms away, walks away from the table. And when I tell y'all that camera panned on Mary, and Mary said, "Well, where's the dessert?" I almost fell on the floor. I literally was standing up and almost died because it was just so random. She was like, "Where's the dessert?"
You know what got me? Whitney. I think Whitney loves Mary deep down. I really do. Because
Yes.
when Mary said that, it took everything in Whitney not to crack up. And that's why that cameraman showed her face. I said, Mary. She's like, don't nobody give a damn about Lisa running off crying.
Okay, for real.
Don't nobody care. Lisa's done stuff to be iconic as a housewife because she makes for good TV because of all of her negative traits. But when you look for the positive, it's very hard to actually locate and find them. Nobody gives a flying you know what about her tears. Where is the dessert? The tiramisu, a fruit tart, some cake,
No, I want my
some
chocolate
some
mousse.
some banana pudding. Where is the dessert? I'm with Mary.
Yes, because you done brought me all over here and caused all this drama. I done
How
got
you
my
gonna leave
food
your own
late.
trip too?
Yeah. Like, why you
Because
want
you got
what
held
you want?
accountable.
Yeah, exactly. I was just gonna say that. It's like, ma'am, I can't. Don't Bravo. Don't let Lisa host no more damn trips. Don't let. I'd rather Heather host a group trip than because at least Heather gonna do it semi right.
Heather always put these women, Heather and Meredith always put these women somewhere far away in the wilderness in the snow. I just like Bravo, just pay for a trip for them and make it nobody hosting. Just pay for a trip.
Somebody has to host. You know that ain't how that works. Somebody has to host the trip. Someone has to do it, y'all. They can't just let them just run around, run amok in the city. But
They
who do
need
you think? You
to.
know what's funny? Who do you think out of any housewife on any franchise who does the best trips?
I feel like Candy does really well. I will give it to Candy. She's one of them. Um, who else? The Housewives of Beverly Hills, they do well as well.
I can't pick one from them because everybody
Everyone
has
does
good
well.
stuff.
That's why I said the cast,
Yeah,
because
everyone
everyone's
does.
done well on that cast, but they're to a little higher level of luxury. I don't really
Mhm.
care for Miami. Um,
Potomac.
and Potomac trips are a joke and give working class, which nothing is wrong with. But the problem with Potomac is a lot of these women married their men for their money. The housewives that was on there.
Mhm.
Ashley did okay a couple seasons ago when they went to Portugal, but again,
See,
she
I was
just
gonna
did
say,
okay.
I think that my favorite housewife, and she wasn't even a housewife, she was a friend of. Do you remember when Tanya threw a trip on Real Housewives of Atlanta?
Yeah, she did okay.
She did okay. I was gonna say she did. I liked her trip.
Back
Um,
in the day, it's a super, super throwback. Jill Zarin on Housewives of New York, way back in the earlier season. She did well as
yeah, I
also.
remember. I
Yeah.
don't remember New Jersey's trips at all, but I remember. Yeah,
The Jersey's trips are okay. They usually go to like the same places. And I think that's what like the wow factor goes down.
DM Rocks. Brittany's about to leave the trip for recording people.
She try to get them extra checks.
Not Brittany is trying to become a full time housewife. She coming for somebody's spot. And I feel like, and I told y'all this last week, I feel like Brittany is going to take Whitney's snowflake. I do. I feel like Brittany is going to take Whitney's snowflake, and Whitney's going to become a friend of the show. I can see it happening because Whitney has not given anything that is that memorable. She just doesn't. Like her shit doesn't land, and she doesn't have a storyline. I know Heather isn't going anywhere. I know Heather isn't going. I would be shocked if they ever fired Heather because Heather going to be on here the same for as many seasons as Robin Dixon was on Real Housewives of Potomac. Watch what I tell you. Sad. So sad. But Brittany coming for somebody, Snowflake. I don't know whose it could be because I'm pretty sure I know Bronwyn definitely secured a season two if her husband let her come back on the show. Angie, I know, is going to come back for another season. Um, they need Mary regardless because they realized they couldn't do the show without her. So they have to have her back. So I feel like Lisa is safe. Meredith is questionable. Meredith, it could be Meredith too because Meredith ain't got shit going on either.
Meredith
So,
should have been gone seasons ago.
mhm.
She should have been
But
gone.
I think
Meredith.
it's going to be between Heather and Meredith. I mean, not Heather, Whitney and Meredith. It's going to be one out of one of them two. One of them ain't coming back next season. I don't see it. And I think Brittany is going to be a full time housewife next season. I can really see it. Unless they give her the Marlo Hampton treatment, which also could happen too. Where Marlo was always the like the Lillicly or the very much friend of the show that got a confessional, sits, closer to Andy at the reunions kind of situation. I feel like maybe they'll do that too. You never know. But I just see a lot. I just feel like they need to do something with this cast. It's not that it's boring, but I just feel like some of them are riding the waves of the other ones, and that's not fair. Like Heather is still yet, even though I won't cover it on my channel, we still yet to see a scene without one of the other ladies in Heather's situation. Did anybody notice that?
But I feel like if anything, I would rather Meredith be gone. I've said this for seasons. Meredith is part of the reason I stopped watching the show. I'm only back because of YouTube, if I'm being honest. Like,
Mm.
Meredith gives nothing. She doesn't want to talk about her marital issues. She doesn't want anybody to talk about her kids, but she insists on continuing to have them film. Whenever she tries to come for people, she's reaching. It almost comes across as a Karen. She's not relatable. She's not really that likable. Um, and I'm kind of bored with it. And no shade, I respect the Jewish religion. I have several friends that are Jewish. However, comma, it just felt disingenuous coming from her. So I feel like Meredith's at the point where she'll do anything just to stay relevant, and that's when it's time for somebody to go. Meredith is the Sheree, in my opinion, of Salt Lake City.
Ooh, that's a great comparison. Yes, absolutely. I can see it. Yes, 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 yes. But yeah, that was Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, y'all. It was an okay episode. I liked it. I can't wait to see next week episode. I want to see how this recording plays out. And we'll go from there. But we're gonna go ahead and do Bell Collective next. So if y'all got some time for me today, y'all go ahead and go to my next slide where we'll go through Bell Collective because that episode, there was a lot going on that we need to discuss. So I will see you guys on that live. Thank you for being here. Please like, comment, and subscribe to the channel if you are not subscribed already. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye now.